everyone expected Barter 6 to be a flop or a troll, but instead, it became a masterpiece. Songs like Check Up and Halftime show the focused, reliable artists in this industry. Yo, I grew up listening to Young Thug, like listening to his music. I grew up, I remember when he first came out, and when I first heard about him, I wasn't really a big fan of Young Thug, to be honest. I was like, yo, who's this dude that's trying to sound like Lil Wayne or whatever, like wearing a dress, or who's this dude trying to sound like Lil Wayne wearing a dress and just trying to be all like in the mix and everything and crying on his tracks and lyrics. But at the same time, I basically felt like he was copying Lil Wayne's style. You know, I felt like he was trying to be Lil Wayne, new version, because you gotta remember, Lil Wayne and Birdman was going through it at the time with Young Money and Cash Money, because Wayne felt that Birdman owed him a lot of money, and we're gonna get into that. But Birdman wound up starting up Rich Gang. You know, him and Wayne wasn't cool, so he wound up starting his own shit, which was Rich Gang. Boom. With Rich Gang, I believe one of the first artists, or the first artist that went successful on Rich Gang that was just as big was Young Thug. So if that wasn't his first artist, that was the first artist that went successful and actually blew up was Rich Gang. So to bring that back, I'm just listening. I'm like, yo, who's this dude sound like Wayne? And then he started copying Wayne. He named his album Barter 6. So I'm just sitting there like, not only he disrespected Lil Wayne, he took Lil Wayne's style, and he actually was trying to like mimic Lil Wayne flow and be on the verse and hooks. And so then I'm saying to myself, he don't sound better than Wayne. You know, I guess the Jay-Z line came into effect. You know, that said y'all can make Hov, make another one. So I felt like Birdman was purposely trying to make another Wayne, or somebody that is just as big as that. And he became very successful. One thing Birdman did and do have is an ear for talent. You know, he may not be the most, you know, successful artist, but he's one of the most successful CEOs in the music business and the hip hop, you know, culture and stuff. He mean a lot too to the hip hop, because he's one of the most successful business, independent as well as the label entrepreneurs that's in the music game. So I say that to say Young Thug started heating up, getting hot with the Rich Gang. But then you didn't look at him as a regular person. I kind of looked at him like, this dude is dressing in a dress. This dude, because back then, right, everybody now, you know, the LGBT community, whatever, no disrespect, shout out to them, whatever. Everybody was, you know, you can't say a lot of stuff now. But back then, you could just say, like, yo, is this person, you know, gay? Or is this person this type of way? Or is he that? But you had to look at it differently. So you didn't know what he was doing. But I believe he was creating his own way. I'll basically say he didn't give a fuck. You know, he wore dresses, wore skirts and all that, you know. I wouldn't do no shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't no disrespect to the LGBTQ community. I just wouldn't do that. I'm not gay. You know, that's their thing. But he just was changing the perception of how people viewed things at that moment, where he didn't care. He like, yo, this is a form of expression for me of how I feel. And he got every right to do that, to feel how he feels. So he just separated himself from everybody, and the piercings in his face and all that. And he blew up. And he started making some good records. Him and Rich Homie Quan. That's when I was hearing about Rich Homie Quan, because they were like at the same level at one point, you know. And them niggas was hot. They was on fire. They were blowing up. They were really a part of the new generation at that time of what hip hop needed, you know? And my hat goes out to the culture, and that's what we needed, you know? So let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And we're gonna take it from there. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Write in the comments too, man. Let me know what y'all be thinking, for real. Y'all just be watching the video